Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the NCERT chapter number 14 related to water, movement of the oceanic water. Okay. So first of all we have to understand in the oceanic water we have different kind of motions like horizontal motions and vertical motions. Okay. And the temperature, the salinity is intensity is different in the different place. Okay. Different kind of factors varies for that, but we will discuss further. So there is some kind of things like wave. What is wave? So wave are actually the energy, not the water as such, which move across the oceanic surface, and water particles are traveling as a small circle in the passage of the wave. Okay. So the reason of the wave is because of the wind provides energy to the wave, and when this wave goes to the shore areas, so they just stop, or just for going that area they just go slow down. That is because of the frictional force. And if we compare where large waves are created, so that is in the open ocean due to the continent barriers. In the northern hemisphere we will see comparatively less uh, large waves. Okay. And waves just travel thousands of kilometers before rolling in a shore. And waves have crest and trough. Okay, crest is a falling and trough is rising. So that's the thing. And other thing we can say about the waves, the actual motion of the waves are beneath the water, not the above the water. Okay. And some kind of main characteristic of the waves are the wave crest and trough, then wave height, wave amplitude, wave period, wave length, wave speed, wave frequency. Okay. So that is all about the wave. What we have discussed about that, due to the energy these has been created, water is not the main thing which has gone from one place to another, but the circulation motion of the water is just pressing another water particles to just go through the further. Okay. And the main reason why in the shore waves just get down or just stopped due to the frictional force of the earth or the other particles. Okay. Largest waves are found at the oceans which are open. Oh. And uh, before reaching to the place, waves just travel thousands of the kilometers, and some kind of uh, main motion of the wave is happens under the sea, not the below, not the above the sea. Okay. And the characteristic of the waves, the amplitude of the waves, the height of the waves, the frequency of the wave, the width of the wave, and the wave period, wavelength, etc. Then we are coming on the tide. So this is the periodic rise and fall of the sea level. This is called tide. And these are the meteorological effects of winds and atmospheric pressure change. Okay. So here gravity and the centrifugal force, and the gravity of the moon and the centrifugal force are working mostly when moon just sorry moon creates some kind of gravitational force towards the earth. Due to that, tidal bulge has been created, and due to one side of tidal bulge, another side's earth creates the centrifugal force. Due to that, both sides of the earth centrifugal force created. So we find at the parallel side of, not parallel but 180 degree, like uh, the side where moon is, and the opposite side of that, the tidal bulge is created. There is some kind of positions when tidal bulge will be very high, when tidal bulge will be very low, this kind of things. And the main reason of the tidal bulge is the gravity of the moon, but somehow sun's gravity is also working on the place. So I'm going to tell the different conditions we can find due to the tidal currents, different so I have talked about the gravitational force, centrifugal force. Now I will talk about the types of the tide. So diurnal tide, semi-diurnal tides, and next thing is mixed tide. So diurnal tides are twice, one high tide and one low tide during a day, but semi-diurnal tides are two high tide and two low tide during a day. If we talk about the mixed tide, so their variation in the height is uh, not measured before, like they have a lot of variations in their heights. For example, in North America and many islands of the Pacific Ocean also we will find that. So then we will find the position and the height of the tide due to the position of the sun, earth, and the moon. Okay, so what is the spring tide? When sun, moon, and the earth at the linear place, so this will be the bulge will be the higher, this will call the spring tide. This happens twice a month, in the new moon period and the full moon period. The neap tides, when the sun and the moon are having 90-degree angles to each other, this will cause the gravitation of the moon and sun is not working towards the same direction, so the bulge will be very low. This also happens 2 times in a year. Then based on the closeness of the moon, when moon are very close to the earth, the bulge will be greater. This is called perigee. When the moon will be far from the earth, this will call the apogee. Okay, so what we know, like 27 days moon takes for the one uh, total round of the earth. So 2 times in a month we can say, because in a month, not surely, books is not given that. If we talk about the sun's position, so when sun is very near to the earth in the 3 of January, perihelion is called, bulge will be very high. And in the aphelion, 4 of the July, sun will be far from the earth, this will call the aphelion. Okay, then the time between the high and low tide, when it is falling, it's called ebb. When it's rising, it's called flow or flood. What is the importance of the tide? Tides is very important for the harbors near the rivers, and some kind of activities for the navigators and the fishermen also. And we can see the wave tidal energies are also created by some countries like Canada, China, Russia, and France. So this we just discussed about the tides, their types, and what is the significance of that. Okay, so tide due to the moon's gravitation and centrifugal force, this is created. And what is the type of this? Semi-diurnal, diurnal, mixed. Okay, semi-diurnal 2 times in a day, diurnal 1 time in a day, mixed range will be very high. Then based on the location, when moon is spring tides, when moon, sun, and earth will be at the same line, Then neap tide, when moon and the sun will have 90-degree angle. Then when moon will be very near to the earth, this will call perigee, very far. Apogee, when sun will be very near to the earth on the 3rd of the January. Perihelion, on the 4th of July, when sun will be very far from the earth, which is called aphelion. Then what is the importance of the tide for the for the fishermen's and for the navigators, for the harbors and near rivers, and for the tidal energies also. We have discussed about that. So now we will discuss about the oceanic currents. Okay. So oceanic currents are like river flows in the ocean. They represent the regular volume of water in a definite path and direction. Ocean currents are influenced by two types of forces, namely primary force and secondary force. Primary force are because of the heating by solar energy, gravity, Coriolis force, etc. So heating by solar energy means in the equatorial, more solar energy will be found, more ocean will be melted, and around 8 centimeter higher level of the water is happen on that area. So water tries to just go where the level is low. Okay, so this shows the higher polar words shift of the lower polar words. Then winds, these got these called some kind of frictional force. Okay, then gravity, earth wants to just uh, attract the water towards their. Then Coriolis force. In the northern hemisphere, Coriolis force just tend to the water to go towards the right hand, and in the southern hemisphere, water just try to goes toward the left hand. Okay, then so different kind of density also have, like the dense water will try to just move towards inner side, and less dense water will come upon the surface, because the denser things just go inner sides type of the oceanic currents. So there is, according to their depth, there are two type of currents: surface current and the deep water currents. So surface currents are about 10% of the all water in the ocean, and other deep water currents are 90% of all the oceanic currents. Surface current are the upper 400 meter of the ocean, and other things are the deep water currents. Oceanic currents can also be classified based on the temperature, cold current and the warm current. Cold currents being cold into the warmer, cold currents bring cold water into the warmer areas. These currents are usually found on the west coast of the continent, in the low and middle latitudes, and in the east coast of the higher latitude of the northern hemisphere. Warm currents bring warm water into the cold water areas, and usually they are found in the eastern sides of the low and middle latitudes, and the in northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, and west coast of the continent in the high latitudes. What is the reason behind this? Due to the offshore and onshore winds, like in the uh, lower or middle region, trade winds from the uh, east to west, and in the upper higher level, the westerlies from the west to east. Okay, these causes the upshore and onshore and offshore kind of things. Because of that, this thing happen. Major oceanic currents. So due to Coriolis force and prevailing winds, a lot of factors are affecting that. Monsoon winds also influence that current's movements. Okay. So basically the Arctic and Antarctic type of cold currents move towards the warm currents of the equator, and the equatorial warm currents move towards the cold currents. What is the effect of the currents? So they just mix and they just create more oxygen on that area. Due to that, algae and different kind of planktons find their place very nice for the living, and due to that the different kind of fishes came there for their food. So this become very good area for the fishermen. So that's the main thing. Okay, so by this we have completed the chapter of the oceanic. So